And so Alan Langer takes the Brisbane Broncos out as another chapter in rugby league history unfolds. One of the great sides of rugby league. It carried all before them at the start of 1995, and anybody close to the club knows that there's newborn enthusiasm as they launch their attack on the last of the Winfield Cups. O'Neill, Saylor, Hancock, Johns, No Renoff, Kahn, Walters, Langer, Lazarus, Kerrod Walters, G. Thorne, Can and Darren Smith, coached by Wayne Bennett. Now the Broncos to be challenged themselves.
She's a long harker.
Broncos have turned their attention away from the traditional harker. Great presentation by this club. And here they come. Dean Bell will cherish and remember this magic moment in his rugby league career like none other. And Dean Bell has had some magic moments. The crowd welcomes the Auckland Warriors. By the end of this weekend, 3 other new chums will join them, enlarging the Winfield Cup to 20 sides. And listen to this crowd now. Let's have a look at their side. Phil Blake, Sean Hoppy, Dean Bell, Manoa Thompson, Taiwa, Namu, Alexander, Hill, Mann, Okasini, Kearney, Tatupu, and Tui Mavavi. And of course, they're coached by one of the great league coaches, John Money. Well, Tim Sheridan has been here for Wide World of Sports since the start of the week, and he has been able to enjoy all of the hype. It's been quite incredible, Tim.
Ray, in my time reporting this game, I can't remember anything like the hype and atmosphere in this city this week and across New Zealand. It's been absolutely stunning. And John Money's actually told his players not to let the occasion hijack the mission, what they're about here tonight. He's told them they have to chance their arms, and that once they get between the sidelines, it doesn't matter where you are, you still have to play the game. Wayne Bennett has told his players to fear the first 20 minutes. The big thing for them is not to let the Warriors score in the first 20 minutes. And he's told them to watch out for a possible chip kick.
Bill Harrigan, the #1 referee in charge of the opening to the 1995 Winfield Cup season. A great roar went up from 40,000 people, parochial as they will be. It'll be up to the Broncos to weather the emotional storm of the first 10 minutes. Alexander, they'll be hoping that he is able to resurrect his brilliant career. Gavin Hill takes it out to the 40-metre line. The 9 is Dwayne Mann, 28 tests behind him. Alexander with the left thigh heavily taped. O'Neill off his own 10-metre line. The forwards go in. Stephen Kearney and Gavin Hill amongst the tacklers. Brisbane then. 25 out from their own line. Andrew G now. Face pass across Lazarus. It's with Alan Can. as Brisbane work the blind side 40 metres out from their own line. Darren Smith in 13. So Brisbane almost back now to the halfway line. Many of their ardent supporters, those that could afford it, are here to watch them. Darren Smith gave them a good chase, and Phil Blake will play the ball.
Yes, the kick was touched. They put all the players on side. As Sean Hoppy comes in field, take a little bit of pressure off his side. Important not to give away the first penalty. You don't want to allow the opposition 2 sets of 6. That's Okasini.
40 metres out from his own line. Man comes away from dummy half. Almost now to the halfway line. Back for Blake. Puts the right foot to it. Doesn't look for a lot of distance. He was trying to be precise. They want to defend against Brisbane coming out of the corners. This is O'Neill now. A lot of discussion coming into the game as to what effects the loss of Steve Renouf would have on this team. And obviously it is going to be significant. A big night for the number 11, Brad Thorne. He earned his stripes during the Tooheys Challenge. Kerrod Walters is with it. Lazarus now. Lazarus thinking about unloading, but pulled down by Gavin Hill. To the right they go once more, and Andrew G it is that goes to the halfway line. G Namu up there doing the work of the forwards. Manoa Thompson involved. Kerrod Walters lays it on the boot and puts it out on the full. So that's a little break the Warriors' way.
All that's done is given the Warriors some good field position with the 6 tackles ahead of them. The first mistake of the match. All the nerves should be settled down by now. We should see some good enterprising open football.
Okasini playing the ball. The 11 is Stephen Carney, or Kearney as he tells us now is the right pronunciation. Gene Namu, Dean Bell, taken by Michael Hancock, playing left centre in defence, Michael. Now Namu. Alexander cut out. Gavin Hill is with it. Loses it. Dived on by Mann. Harrigan's going to put a scrum down.
Very good defence there from Alan Langer and Chris Johns, realising that there was a little bit of danger out wide. The Warriors had a couple of numbers over. You see there the number 7 outside him is centre, up very, very quickly in that umbrella shape.
A magnificent weekend of rugby league in front of us. As Brisbane win the scrum and they go over to Kevin Walters. Blake standing up flat in defence from full back together with Namu. Alexander actually dropped back into the full back role. Darren Smith takes it a few metres inside Auckland's territory. He's met by a solid tackle. Langer now, long pass over. Hancock, fronted by Dean Bell. Wrestled down, brings a roar from the crowd. Dean Bell, in an interview, when asked how he would contain Steve Renouf, said, well, he's a great centre. You've just got to be in his face all night. And that's exactly what he was doing with Michael Hancock. And here's a penalty. That's a high tackle against Tony Tuamavave. They take the quick tap. Customary for Langer to do that. Kevin Walters, 25 out from the Auckland line. Now Kerrod goes away with a dummy half scamper. 18 metres out from the line. That's where they're at as Langer comes to the wide blind side. Alan Cann within 8 metres of the line. Brad Thorne is the dummy half. Langer calls it. Langer, a long pass over for Kevin Walters. A decoy goes. O'Neill, he gets it away. Smith on. Khan. Oh, great defence.
No, he's
Khan, he thinks he got it down. Bill Harrigan agrees.
Well, great effort by Willie Khan. There's a good covering tackle by Tony Tutupu out there on Khan, but in the end the Broncos had the numbers. They found the space, the defensive area here by the Auckland Warriors. Might be, that's it, Manoa Thompson coming up there, couldn't make the tackle. The winger had come in, and look at the second row getting over there and cover. I thought he got him too. I thought he'd forced him into touch, but Khan, look at the strength of him.
Well, Khan has done magnificently not to ground the football. This shot will show it.
This shot will show it perfectly. Good work from Darren Smith, the lock forward, to be out there. Got plenty to do to beat the second rower. Somehow, well, gee, I thought the knee might have taken the line. Very, very tough call. The touch judge right on the spot. Bill Harrigan in no doubt that Willie Kahn stayed in the field of play. Awarded Willie his 58th try.
Well, Bill Harrigan would have been totally reliant on his touch judge. Watch it again.
Remember, on the line is out.
Well, there's a blade of grass in it. I was more concerned to be watching the arm carrying the football. Very hard to watch both at the same time. Let's watch it again on this shot. This is not the touch angle. This is the one for the arm, but he's obscured by the number 7. If you ask the crowd here, it's hard to find anybody that thinks it's a try. Now O'Neill, 64% success rate in the Tui's challenge. 62% last year. He's offline. 4-0, the Broncos over the Warriors. Seventh minute, the Warriors restart. The tackle of Tony Tutupu, it deserved to stop a try.
And that, of course, is the kind of start that Auckland were looking for. The early points going to the Brisbane side. I actually thought the knee touched the line. Now, important that Auckland show some character and bounce straight back. Pretty strong tackle there from Gene Namu.
Kerrod Walters now finding Alan Cairns. Just short of the halfway line. 4-0 the Broncos if you've just joined us. A great night to welcome Auckland Warriors into the Winfield Cup. It'll be a greater night if they can remain competitive. Langer puts it down to bounce almost on the line. Now they've got to try and get it back. Taiwa does that. It wasn't what you would call an urgent chase by the Broncos. Now, one of the very fine wingers in the game, Sean Hoppy. Alexander. A settler getting it outside the 20-meter line. The Broncos leading 4-0. The Warriors bunched as they bring this ball out. The bench looks on, concerned that they're down 4-0, and probably more concerned that Bill Harrigan might have made a mistake in conjunction with his touch judge. Mann's kick is charged down, no knock on, play on, 6 more tackles, and Hoppy is with it, 45 away from the line.
And if Hoppy could have drawn the defensive players and served up Dean Bell on the outside, there was a lot of open space. Alexander trying to open a hole for Namu, but great tackle again from Chris Johns.
Namu losing one of his boots in the process, as Gavin Hill is met head-on by the opposite number 8 in Glenn Lazarus. 42 metres away from the Brisbane line now, and they lose it once more. Harrigan gives the penalty.
Yes, he's
pinched Brisbane for raking the ball out.
That's exactly right, Ravi. Alan Langer not happy about it. So that's a stroke of luck there for the Auckland Warriors. 40 metres out from the post. Will they take the shot at goal? Here's the incident here. Alf's got his hand in there. It was ever so slight, but Harrigan deemed it enough to concede a penalty against the Broncos. And Gavin Hill will have a shot for goal. He's got a very strong breeze behind him.
One of the game's very best kickers is Gavin Hill. Well known to Winfield Cup viewers, particularly the old Canterbury Bankstown crowd. He gave them many thrilling moments. Gavin Hill, he's now 28 years of age. He's played 5 tests for New Zealand, played 35 games for the Bulldogs, and his record shows 63% as a goal kicker. So here he is now from directly in front, 38 metres out and just wide. He's got it dead though. Tomorrow from Stockland Stadium, Townsville, North Queensland Cowboys versus the Sydney Bulldogs. You'll see that live in Sydney at 8:30. Andrew Voss will cover that with Paul Borden and Steve Roach. Is that a V or a B?
I think that was a B.
I think it might have been too.
Oh, cop, might have been called many things, that'll do.
40 metres out now from the Broncos line for Alexander to go to Okasini. The wild bull of the Pampas. Alexander. Now Blake into the back line. Blake. Sailor stayed out. He wasn't drawn in. Blake screaming at one of his teammates. He wasn't happy. And the 11 is Stephen Kearney.
He's got up and yelled at Dwayne Mann. I think he was more upset with Sean Hoppy not coming back inside.
Alexander now. The chip kick and Sailor. Sailor's got it the second time.
That was great work by Sailor. He read that. Anticipation's a great thing in this game, and Sailor knew that Alexander was going to put a kick in, and he got there in the end. Here comes Brandy, trademark of his, and Sailor just dropped back and cool as you like.
We pick it up direct, 20 metres out from their own line. Brisbane leading 4-0. First match of the Winfield Cup for 95. The favourites are out there tonight, the Broncos. Quoted at 3-1. Favourites in centre bet, who've held $100,000 on this match tonight, apparently. The most money they've held on any match, apparently, at the start of a Winfield Cup. Sean Hoppy is back with it, coming away from his 30 and now his 40-metre line. Taken by Darren Smith. I wonder, was there thought given to playing him in the centres in this match? Dean Bell now goes across the halfway line. The crowd subdued now. They gave their lungs plenty of work early, but at the moment they've had to settle back. They come alive a little bit now as Phil Blake probes at the 30-metre line. Dean Bell is tackled by Michael Hancock.
Isn't that a great battle already? Two very robust defenders, not giving either player an inch, as Okasini does well under pressure to take that ball. Kevin Walters up quickly.
Mann gets to dummy half, and now off the boot of Alexander. He did very well there. Unfortunately, it's gone out on the full, but it was a case of catch, kick, and do it all in one action as the pressure came down on him, and he misses the sideline by a metre.
The penalty now to the Broncos, an infringement in the play of the ball. And a couple of times the Warriors have sent it through their hands, through the halves of Alexander and Namu, and they've found front rowers out there. And a minute ago, Okasini was there, and he just the play broke down. They need to get their centres out there or a hard running back rower.
Yeah, not only was Okasini out there taking it nicely, but the player immediately outside him was Stephen Kearney. Andrew G works with Brad Thorne now. Kerrod Walters. Now they're finding plenty of space with no marker defence. 25 out, centre of the ground. Kevin Walters uses Alan Can. Strong as they come, and Chris Johns gets in for a try.
Well, Alan Can, what a great run. In the background, Gavin Hill and Stephen Kearney have just got up the deck and said, what happened? I know what happened. The juggernaut. He just left them on the ground. What's this? 100 miles an hour. And there's the man who missed him was Kearney. Hill fell over, and great backing up there by Chris Johns.
And Kerrod Walters deserves a pat on the back. He set that up by a tremendous dart from dummy half the previous play. Phil Blake actually went to second marker. There you can see Blake turned inside out. He was trying to get back into the second line of defence. By the time he'd got back there, Alan Can had busted the first line. And Chris Johns, ever supporting, loomed up on the outside to score under the posts.
56 career tries for Chris Johns. And a good story in the Big League magazine about Chris Johns and the pressure that he's been under. They've been talking about finding a spot for one of the three wingers. All he said was, don't mention Darren Smith in the centres. There's enough pressure without him being thrown into the pot. Typical Chris Johns. Julian O'Neill. Eight 0 in favour of Brisbane. It'll be 10 in a moment for Julian O'Neill. Right in front. And puts it up into this big crowd. So 10 points to nil. The Broncos over the Warriors on opening night.
On for the DB for the Warriors, big drop, C. Solomona. Number 28. On for Gavin Hill.
Welcome back. Nines Rugby League on our first Friday night, coming to you from Ericsson Stadium in Auckland. And oh, this could be a problem. Was it Okasini or was it the 12 to Tupu?
I think you find it was to Tupu who came in and drove Michael Hancock. You don't see Michael Hancock taken back in tackles too often. Fortunately, he fell sideways, so the impact wasn't as bad. And I think that's play on.
No spear tackle there for mine. Just a good hard tackle.
Well, you can have that opinion, but I'm sure there will be other opinions. And certainly from players that have been before on report, incidents probably not as bad as that.
And this is a penalty now. Some luck for the Warriors. A very bad play the ball here by the Broncos. And the quick tap taken by Phil Blake.
So Blake trying to do a Langer on Langer.
Glenn Lazarus was the man ruled not to have got to his feet to play the football as Dwayne Mann mixes up in the middle of the ruck there. Only picks up a metre or two, but a good chance here for the Warriors.
Alexander goes wide. It goes with Namu. And this is Manoa Thompson. Did well under the pressure of two tackles. 28 is on Solomona. 22 metres out from the line. Now, Alexander. Good ball for Kearney. Equally good for Okasini. 9 out from the line. Mann calls for a penalty. Alexander across. Yes, Tuamavavi. 2 metres out. The Broncos called on to defend now. Alexander. Namu. Looking for the mark and picking up to Tupu. Gets it away for Thompson. They lost a lot of territory there. Mann. But Harrigan says, come back and play the ball.
Oh, great Brisbane defence there. Knew they were under a heap of pressure. Fifth tackle, they sprinted up, but sprinted up in a line and put the pressure on. And the Auckland Warriors couldn't handle it.
Yeah, the centre defence of Brisbane has been outstanding. Both Chris Johns and Michael Hancock knowing when there was danger and getting up and snuffing it out. That time again, Chris Johns was the man who sprinted up and snuffed out the attack.
Alexander starting to look pretty dangerous, Peter, drifting across the field. Mistake here by Brisbane and a knock on seen by Bill Harrigan, but Alexander, when he starts to drift across the field, he's dangerous. Well,
he just threw 2 great balls down in the 20-metre area of Brisbane as Brad Thorne ruled to have knocked on there. Again, that's a difficult decision to fathom. But Alexander, when he goes to the line and drifts across, the worst thing you can do is stand and watch and wait to see what he's going to do. Somebody in front of him has got to go through, commit the tackle and take him out. Every time Alexander touches the football, he's got to end up on the ground.
So the Warriors now with Alexander. Calling the tune! Taiwa! Taiwa comes inside. Oh, great ball! Blake! Phil Blake! He gets the try! But Taiwa! What a magical piece of football!
And again, Greg Alexander started the play with a select pass. Tremendous work on the far side to keep the ball alive. You'll see Willie Kahn is caught out. Kahn dropping in behind his defensive line. Michael Hancock. Manoa Thompson tried to get on the outside. Willie Kahn came in. That allowed Taiwa to get outside Kahn. Kahn came again, but a magnificent ball. Phil Blake backing up, gets the try. Just what the Warriors ordered.
Oh, what an exciting time for the Auckland Warriors. Their very first try in the Winfield Cup. Great ball there. Hancock made the mistake of not going up. He stood back just for a second, and Phil Blake, well, he's been doing it for 12 years now. The best finisher in the game, I think. He can sniff out a try. He loves it. The boys go off.
Well, a sensational try.
How long since we've seen anyone run around Willie Kahn leaving for dead? Long time.
122 tries for Phil Blake. But let's not forget Fetu Taiwa. It really belonged to him. The 24-year-old winger on the left flank is now Gene Namu.
Pretty good work from Manoa Thompson as well to commit Michael Hancock, then have Willie Kahn come in and still keep the ball alive.
This kick looks pretty good. It's there. And the Warriors are back in it. Oh, 10-6.
There you see the work from Manoa Thompson. He committed 2 players. Hancock came in with the low tackle. Willie Kahn was caught in no man's land, unable to wrap up Taiwa from behind. A great ball.
So there, the try scorer almost making a mistake. A profile in Wide World of Sports tomorrow done by Tim Sheridan on Phil Blake. One of the game's great survivors. One of the game's great thrillers, in inverted commas. Solomona now. That's in Wide World of Sports tomorrow.
And that's
the
really
profile on Phil Blake.
Sorry, that really must lift the Warriors now. You can see Dean Bell getting in there involved. I mean, the 20-minute mark, they were down 10-0 and struggling. And that should give them a great lift.
I think the bottom line there, Paul, is... Oh, hang on, is it? Great ball again.
Great chance here again for the Warriors. 30 metres out from the line. Across now for Alexander. Floating pass for Bell. This is Chewy Mabave. Puts it on the boot. Sailor turns. O'Neill is with it.
Well, I don't know whether that was the right option at the end of it, but sparkling attacking play from the Warriors. A beautiful ball from Greg Alexander once again on the far side of the ruck to Stephen Kearney. And then they came back this way. Dean Bell, quick hands. Chewy Mabave came back inside, kicked.
Just watch this here. Watch this here. A little bit of inexperience from the Warriors. Had they have let Julian O'Neill lie on the ground, they could have got him for a voluntary tackle. And now,
knock on.
A knock on brings the scrum back with the loose head and feed for the Warriors.
A little bit of a look there from Glenn Lazarus, cleaned up by Alan Langer. I was going to say that at 10-0, if it had been the Broncos to score next, the game would just about be over. We've got one on our hands now.
Namu. Bell was on his inside. Thompson is outside, and a copybook tackle shuts him out. Johns the tackler. Taiwan tries to bust them. Andrew G and Kerrod Walters making the tackle. They come to the right for Okasini. Inside for Solomona. Big man on big man as Lazarus puts him away. They're close to the line. Now Alexander across for Namu. Inside ball. And he gets it away for men. 2 metres out to Tupu was the passer. Man plays it. Alexander got it away. Taiwan, Thompson, plenty of passing, and the Broncos come up with it. Darren Smith to play it.
That was a bad pass to finish off a promising movement there by Thompson. Brisbane players defending like their lives depend on it. They've got to. 30,000, 35,000. Another mistake. There you are.
Well, Harrigan says play on, and Namu is tackled inside the 20-metre line. Okasini up on the outside of man. 10-metre line. The Broncos putting themselves under enormous pressure. Namu did well. Alexander. And now for Bell. Bell inside for Hoppe. And yes, another try. The crowd goes mad here at Ericsson Stadium. The Warriors have got their second, and that's the equaliser.
And the tide has turned 10-all with a kick to come. And a couple of mistakes from the Broncos in their own territory. The first one from Glenn Lazarus. The second one, this one from Willie Kahn. Some strong defence from Steve Kearney. Forced the ball out. And Gene Namu, magnificent take, catch and pass in the one motion. Dean Bell getting outside Michael Hancock. And then Sean Hoppe coming back inside. Really no great urgency coming across from the inside Broncos defence. And O'Neill carried across the line.
Well, you simply can't give the opposition too much possession. That's what the Broncos have done. The Warriors have had all the ball the last 5 minutes, and they're a good side. They'll do something with it. All they want, they put on 2 tries. Bell did magnificently there. He's not as quick as he used to be, but he's a pretty wily customer.
In some respects, a similar try to the far side. Their first try, when Manoa Thompson was able to draw 2 defenders. This time, it was the centre for the New Zealand team that committed both Michael Hancock and Wendell Saylor, and that allowed Sean Hoppy to go back on the inside and score.
In many respects, it was bad luck for Wendell Saylor and for Brisbane. He was taken out by the ricochet effect of the tackle on Dean Bell. Gene Namu, he kicked a magnificent goal to convert the Phil Blake try. Can he do it again from an even more difficult angle? 10 points all. We've got 12 minutes of game time in the first half remaining. This time, nowhere near it. We'll take a break and come back with the score equal after 27, 10-10. Welcome back to Auckland, with the Warriors breathing hope into their adoring crowd. It was important for them to be competitive tonight. They're doing that, and they're doing it well. Taya Rapati is on as the ball comes loose and the Broncos are with it. Smith now. Just inside the 20-metre line. Good attacking position for the Broncos. Only the second tackle. Thorne on the blind side. Metten put away by Namu and Bell. Kerrod Walters. Langer on along the line. Kevin Walters shows it inside. Looks for a runner on his outside. Now they're 11 out from the line. As they go to the right, and Langer looks inside for O'Neill, but he's put away by Tutupu and Alexander. 5 tackles gone as they come back to the left. O'Neill is there to put the kick in for Wendell Saylor, and Saylor can't take it. He had every opportunity, but it will be a turnover. The Warriors to restart.
Pretty good work there again from Sean Hoppy, realising that he couldn't catch the football, so he put his body in a position to make sure that if Saylor caught the football, he could commit the tackle. You see, it's turned him around. He drops off the football, waits for Saylor to catch, doesn't do so, and comes up with the turnover.
Wayne Mann, 3 times Player of the Year for New Zealand. Wayne Mann, so he's got a great record behind him. And that's a very good kick from the 20-metre line, bouncing 25 out. Everybody's onside, and he knocks on.
Oh, Harrigan's
missed it.
Wow.
Well, I'm sure he knocked on there, and both Harrigan and the 2 judges missed it. There it is there, just a little.
Wendell Saylor will play it near the halfway line. Cam. It's Peter Ryan who's on. The 28. Langer keeps it low. Question mark on the chaser, Chris Johns, about being onside. Phil Blake comes away, covers a lot of territory, beats plenty of players too. Takes them out to the 25-metre point.
Well, he did well there, Phil Blake, but the Auckland Warriors should have received a penalty on the far side. All of the chasers outside Alan Langer were offside and did go within the 10-metre area.
Taiwa comes off the left wing to work it outside the 30-metre line. Ryan is on for Thorne. Stephen Kearney delivers the pass It sees Auckland's attack now approach the halfway line with Okasini. Harrigan has given the penalty.
He was very patient there, Harrigan, looking to play the advantage for the Warriors, but Lazarus just would not let go of Okasini there, hanging on there like a limpet mine, and just wouldn't let him go. And in the end, Harrigan had to give the penalty.
Don't look at me, Ray. I've got no idea.
What was it?
Oh, some limpet, I think.
A limpet mine.
Iron ore or gold?
Namu finding the line. Solomona. Met and put away by Ryan.
Well, this is the time that we thought that the Auckland Warriors might start to get a little bit tired. It's turned out the other way. The Broncos have got to hang on not far out from half-time as Dean Bell's got a little bit of space and support.
That's Tia Rapati getting the ball in for Alexander. Exciting performance from Alexander thus far. Namu stepping and getting it back. It went through the legs. Did it touch the hand? Harrigan says play on. On the Brisbane 20-metre line. Alexander across, looking for a runner on the flat. Played there by Tua Mavavi. Now with Alexander. Calling players around him. They respond. This is the last. Phil Blake has dropped in to first receiver, but they work the blind side. Solomona flicks it out the back and it goes over the touchline. That's the turnover. So 10 points all with about 7 minutes of the first half remaining.
And if they could have that last play over, they'd do something a little bit different. I'd say it would be in the form of a kick. Got some very nice options, Auckland. Have a look, they can get Phil Blake on one side of the ruck, Alexander the other. Gene Namu can slot in when needed. And Steve Kearney in the back row is very good with the football as well.
Kerrod Walters now takes it away from dummy half. He's lost it. Harrigan acknowledges that and says play on. Auckland playing it on the 30-metre line. Tua Mavavi takes it to the 20 now. Brisbane making a lot of mistakes on their own end of the park. Tatupu. Ryan launching himself in defence. Man, Alexander cuts out Namu. It's with Kearney. Away from Langer. Darren Smith is there to shut him down. That's where they are, just outside the 20-metre line. They go to the blind side. Rapati using Bell. Bell angles back away from the touchline. Now they're 15 out. 5 tackles. This time they'll go to the air, surely. Man, no. Again, they use the blind and then the grubber kick into the end goal. Back out to the 20-metre point for the restart without really putting any pressure on the Broncos.
No, that's twice on the 5th tackle. Two very, very poor options on that occasion. They had a great backline set on the left-hand side of the field, and the Broncos were short there. Maybe the high ball to try and isolate Willie Kahn would have been the option, but Blakey went himself. Although, in saying that, we've seen him score tries in doing that too.
Sailor, 35 away from his line. 10 points all. Already the Warriors, his supporters would be feeling quite contented. Sailor gets a pass away. That's off the hand of Peter Ryan, and that'll be a scrum to restart. Loose head and feed for the Warriors.
I'll tell you why that happened, because a lack of runners there in the Brisbane side. Kerrod Walters looked up, had no one to pass it to when he went to the right. No one wanted to take the ball up, so a desperation pass, and equally as desperate there by Wendell Sailor. The Broncos are rattled.
That's a fair call, Paul, but then again, why the need for desperation at this point in the game? There's 4 minutes to half-time and 10 points all. It's not as if you're out of the game. Alexander now. Grubber kicks, looking for Hoppy. Sailor had to turn around. Off the hand of Sailor. Line drop out to restart.
Oh, exciting play by the Warriors. They are going to be crowd pleasers here, aren't they? Nice little kick by Alexander. It's only the 2nd tackle, mind you. Kicking for the wingers. Sailor he's had a fine game, apart from that bad pass a minute ago.
He had some work to do, Sean Hoppy, because he was a fair way back in chasing the kick. Of course, Wendell Saylor had to turn.
And see, to get a result like that, it's been a great play on the second tackle. Normally you see them on the fourth and fifth tackles, but second tackle, it's daring play and it's paid off.
So O'Neill's dropout is a shocker, and Hoppy does very well to go back infield, away from the sideline, and evading several defences of the Broncos as he did. Solomona using Okasini. That's the 10-metre line. Can they go to the break in front, the Warriors? Alexander on now for Tatupu. He'll score! Tatupu! Third try of the night for the Warriors. And that one was the softest of the three.
He's a very, very good player, is Tony Tatupu. Was impressive against North Sydney at Parramatta Stadium in the Tooheys Challenge, and on this occasion goes straight through Peter Ryan, one of the better defenders in the back row for Brisbane, but he was shrugged off very, very easily.
Oh, see you later, Peter. Down he goes, and Tony Tapupu gets over for the try. That's great play by Auckland, but once again it comes back through simple Brisbane Broncos mistakes.
He's no stranger to scoring a try, Tony Tatupu. It's his first in the Winfield Cup. 44 on his record sheet. He's played for New Zealand. A Western Samoan. Played for North Harbour last year. He's done a couple of exciting things in the match so far. But Greg Alexander is leaving his stamp on this game. And that is, apart from a crowd of 40,000 or whatever, that's the best news the Warriors could have received. But Alexander is playing like the Greg Alexander of old. Ginamu, half-time, is 1.5 away. 5 metres in from touch. He kicked one from here. 2 tries back. I think he's using the same compass. He's got it. And so are the Warriors. 16-10, 3 tries to 2 against the competition favourites.
I'll tell you what they've got, this Warriors side, a very exciting back row trio. Chuamama, Varvey, he's a worker, he's a very good player, I'll tell you. Strong, robust, and the 2 second rowers to Tupu and Carney. Well, we know what Carney can do. Former Western Suburbs player, and Tupu equally as good.
The man orchestrating things is Greg Alexander, isn't he? The longer the game goes, the more he is growing in confidence, and the team is doing so around him as Dwayne Mann picks up 3 or 4 metres, and they're not making mistakes at this end of the field now, the Auckland Warriors, because they haven't been down here too often lately.
Okasini. You know, it's a miracle when you think about it. The Broncos, given the mistakes they've made and the territory that they haven't enjoyed, are only behind by 6.
Well, really, Ray, they've fallen behind by 16 to some extent, aren't they? Because they were 10 in front.
Yeah, that's true.
So they have paid a pretty heavy penalty.
The crowd counts down the end of the first half. And what a start, what an entry to the Winfield Cup for the Auckland Warriors. Bill Harrigan acknowledges time. Have a look at this now. That's only half-time. Let's hope they realise that, the players I mean. Too much experience in this side to believe otherwise. Well, I thought that we might have been in for one very embarrassing night for the Warriors. But not now. 16-10. Welcome back now to Ericsson Stadium here in Auckland, the opening night of the Winfield Cup. The start of the second half, and I guess in the minds of most, a shock result so far. We've got 16-10 in favour of the Auckland Warriors, 3 tries to 2. Peter went through it at half-time with you. The coach looks on, John Money. Peter went through it, the statistics, emphasising what I said just before half-time. Given what they've had to endure, the Broncos are lucky to only be 6 behind. Hope you enjoyed the break. A chance there for Peter to talk with the big fellow. Mal Meninga as Darren Smith plays the ball now, just inside Warriors territory, and Langer turns it inside. Hancock is there, a swinging arm. Not high, according to Harrigan. Langer now puts it in the air. Down it goes to Phil Blake. The uprights to contend with, but the bounce, not the one that Alan Langer was looking for. A steamy night in Auckland. Temperatures of around 22 today. And a beautiful day here, but it's offered us a very humid night. Rapati is with it in 27. Parramatta didn't get a chance to see much of Taya Rapati. Broken ankle last year. Now, this is what they must not do. And they've offered that mistake to the Broncos. And the scrum will pack down, loose head and feed for Brisbane. Tim Sheridan, what were you able to find out at halftime for us?
Well, the atmosphere in the Warriors dressing room, Ray, was as charged as it is down here. John Mooney said to come from 10-0 down was a great effort, but there'd been a couple of poor options in attack. He said they made about 100 tackles. They should have 50 up their sleeve, but above anything else, to win the battle of the dummy half play. Wayne Bennett told the Broncos, well, he brought up the mistakes, of course, but he also told them to play out the sets of 6. And the time of the match, the 40 minutes left, should take care of itself. There's plenty of time. They're running with the wind too, the Broncos.
All right, Tim, that's something we didn't check earlier. The breeze is very much with the Broncos in the second half. As Kerrod Walters takes the tap, and this is Andrew G, met there by Solomona over the top. A huge man. And now Alan Cam. He takes them on, gets a pass away, took 3 defenders out with him. Langer tries to work through that hole. Put away eventually 7 metres out from the line. The Broncos with their playmaker playing the ball. Kevin Walters, Chris Johns, Darren Smith. Darren Smith came up from out in the deep. He's tackled 5 metres out from the line. Across now for Julian O'Neill. Langer back in the line. Tuamavavi and Solomona making the tackle. Kerrod Walters pulled down by a player who was not standing directly in front of the ball. So the Broncos get the penalty. Langer will take the tap. Across it goes for O'Neill. Kearney was one of the tacklers there in a soft passage of play. O'Neill injured. Kerrod Walters across now from G for Can. It's with Ryan. Ryan's pass goes over the sideline.
Well, they went the short side, some good forward play there. Nice ball by G, better one by Can. And then Peter Ryan, that pass too hard to Sailor. Once again a mistake for the Broncos, only in the second tackle.
Well, he's penalised the Broncos for being inside the 5 before the ball came out of the scrum. Kevin Walters probably gave himself up there. Kevin went up and then actually got on his bicycle and went back again. Harrigan spotted him and gave the penalty. 5 for the penalties to the Broncos. The Warriors now through Solomona. Mann, Alexander, Wakasini. Good hard stuff. Ryan, Plath is getting ready in 27. Namu, inside ball for Bell. Accepted by Ryan again. 42 metres out from their own line, from Mann into the hands of Alexander, and now for Tatupu. 4 tackles gone. Go across now for Solomona once more. Did well, took 2 defenders out. Hoppy is tackled, no gain in ground, in fact a loss.
He's made a difference, see Solomona, since coming on. He came onto the paddock when his side was trailing by 10, and no coincidence that we're able to make some busts up the middle through his involvement as Willie Kahn now gets involved. Strong tackle there in the centre field, but Kahn grabs a couple of extra metres.
Sailor now comes off his wing. Takes it to the halfway line. Namu over the top making the tackle.
Julian O'Neill leaving the field. Ray pointed out was hurt down on the try line.
Here's Hancock into space. Hancock, Blake's on him. Blake wins the battle. Good work by Phil Blake.
Hello. 10 minutes. 10 minutes for Blake. Could be a crucial part of the game. There's a professional foul, and Kevin Walters takes the quick tap against 12.
Langer now. Langer did well. Kevin Walters pushes it on. Alan Cann is with it. Gets it away. Then it comes back and away for Andrew G. It is with the ball on the far side of the ground.
First tackle, a mistake.
Another mistake. Phil Blake was a great tackle on Michael Hancock. 9 times out of 10, Hancock had beat the fullback there. And this break just comes through sheer determination and pace and good power running. Good ball from Kevin Walters as well. Not well read there by the defence. And I think he outfooted himself there, Mickey Hancock. And now Blake gets up, and just that little push there, that got him 10 minutes.
Warriors come away from their own 20-metre line. They're leading 16-10 Auckland. Half a break made. Capitalised on by Tatupu. This is Taiwan. 42 metres out from the Brisbane line. They're looking good. Namu on through Tuamabavi. Out to Alexander. Cut out on Kearney. It's with Bell. Now with Hoppy. Hoppy tries to fend off Wendell Saylor. Alexander. Man at first receiver. Namu. A face pass. Tuamabavi. Now Okasini. Just inside the 20-metre line. 5 gone. Haven't gone to the air all that much. They go for the drop goal. 6 more tackles. Namu. 15 out from the Brisbane line. Alexander. Solomona. Dangerously close to offside. Knocked down by Brisbane. Auckland will come up with another 6. Stephen Kearney. Kearney. Got it away for Tuamabavi. 12 metres out from the line. Brisbane on their heels at the moment. The Warriors with 12. Alexander across for Rapati. Desperate stuff by Kevin Walters and John Platt. Alexander. Now, this is Solomona. There's the line. What will they do? Alexander. A long, long pass out for Kearney. A good man to follow. He normally gets it away. Bell for Alexander. Then for Hoppy. And the Brisbane defence holding solid. Last tackle indicated. Back they come again. Alexander. They've come up out of the line, Brisbane. It's with Solomona Okasini. Now it's Rapati. Rapati. 4 tries for Auckland. 20 points to 10.
Great rugby league. Great rugby league from both teams. Excellent defence from the Broncos, but they were on the rack, and eventually the try was scored. The cutout pass here was a crucial one. Greg Alexander looking to bring close players. That took Chris Johns in field, allowed Solomona to pick up Willie Kahn. He's got 3 coming at him. Rapati back on the inside, and Kieran Wallace can't do anything about it.
Brisbane's offence had been so good. Kieran Wallace raced up out of the line. That took him straight out of the play and left Brisbane a little bit short. And it's just great play by the Warriors to finally get the try with Rapati. Walters got there in the end, but all too late. And the 12-man Auckland side gets a try against the run of play.
But what about the series of plays that led up to that? The beautiful bust on the left-hand side here, keeping the ball alive. Isn't he a player, this Tiwa? Every time he's touched the football, he's made ground. Very, very confident football team. They like to keep the ball alive, whether they're a front row forward or an outside back. Julian O'Neill, he can't believe it.
Namu will attempt conversion of the Rapati try. 18 metres out. $9 million their budget, the Auckland Warriors. They are packing plenty of power. And here's Namu converting. The crowd absolutely having a picnic here tonight. 22-10 Auckland.
It's a dream machine, diversion by 17 Namu. Warriors 22, Broncos 10.
Well, Glenn Lazarus comes off. We welcome you back to Ericsson Stadium on a night that is not going all that well for Brisbane. In fact, nothing is going right. Apart from a brief moment at the top of the match, they led 10-0, and it looked like they might have been here inflicting one huge defeat on Auckland, but it's been nothing like that. Auckland had scored 22 points to 0. In, I'll get the exact time, in about 25 minutes of rugby league. I'm being told they've scored 22 points. It'll take a bit longer than that. We'll just double check it. 5 tackles gone now. And Auckland turning Brisbane around. That will go over the
try line, Ray.
Went over the try line, Preacher. Quite right. Here's Saylor. It was 10-0 after 17 minutes. We're 13 into the second half. 40 minutes. Leave me out of the mathematics in future, fat man.
Put your shoes back on, Ray.
Auckland have been penalised for... He didn't give an indication, Harrigan, so... I think it might have been the high shot from Stephen Kearney. Let's watch it again. Well, he might have penalised Kearney, but I don't know whether it was Kearney's fault. So Brisbane now come out to the 40-metre line. And this is Andrew G, almost to the halfway line. As somebody said today, this is not really the Auckland Warriors, it's the New Zealand Warriors. And I think they've come to Auckland tonight from all parts of New Zealand. Brad Thorne is on the 40-metre line as Alan Langer gives it on for Alan Can. And Tatupu is there with man to put him down. Langer once more. Walters trying to promote one of his teammates, Chris Johns, through the gap. Auckland have done their homework. Langer's kick is meant for Khan, and Taiwa puts it down, but it's back with Brisbane and they score.
Miracle.
Alan Langer puts it down as easy as you like.
Well, what about this one? Another great kick by Alan Langer, and Khan put the pressure on Taiwa. See, they try and do this all the time. They try and isolate one particular player. On this occasion, it's Taiwa out wide. He can't handle it. Knocked forward there. A fumble that went through Ryan's legs, and Langer finishes it off.
Pretty good work there. The last pass was Kevin Walters coming in. Let's have a look and see if the winger was interfered with before the ball arrives. Well, he got a little bit of a push, but he had a good catch on it to Peter Ryan through the legs. Great work from Kevin Walters, and the kicker's there to score.
So the conversion is successful, as one would imagine, from right in front, 22-16. The Warriors by 6 points. So we're back to the same margin, same deficit, as was the case at half-time. 15 minutes have gone in the second half as Greg Alexander starts this next session of play. Ball coming away with Andrew G out to the 20-metre line. And Solomona getting through plenty of work for a big man.
I mentioned the impact of C. Solomona. I think the same can be said for Tia Rapati as well. They've both been great coming off the interchange bench. as Brad Thorne makes a strong run, 38 out from his own line. Tui Mavavi is down for the Warriors.
Now Langer runs the angle with Kevin Walters, and G. Namu laid out a hand and had a raking effect, pulled Kevin down. Now with Langer across for Darren Smith, and Tewa. A good tackle by him. Rapati came over the top. 5 gone for the Broncos. Langer. A little kick this time, looking for Kevin Walters, who was in front of him. And this is Alexander.
Phil Blake back into the fray after spending his 10 minutes in the sin bin. So a full complement of players out there for both sides.
And 2 tries coming in the period that Blake was off. 1 for the Warriors, and the other, of course, just scored by Brisbane. Mavavi is in a bit of trouble in back play. It looks like he will be coming off. This is Tatupu providing the ball for Blake, and Blake is tackled almost on the halfway line. Warriors back with G. Namu, but they're standing flat. Rapati. Kevin Walters and Alan Langer making the tackle on 5. From Solomona over for Namu to go for the alternate kicker, Greg Alexander. The bounce on the second occasion, favourable for O'Neill. Now out they go to Saylor. The defence umbrellaing around Saylor. He runs away from Tewa. Looks for an opening up the centre. Runs over G. Namu. Oh, has this been an individual performance? Wendell Saylor. Brilliant stuff. Langer over the 40. Oh, that'll bring a penalty.
No. Lay on. Chest. Round the chest.
G. Right chest. Are they starting to brew up to something here, Paul? Tua Mavavi getting some attention.
Well, they were until the ball was dropped and they play the ball by Alan Can. Kicks the ball away in disgust. The little mistakes that Brisbane made like that tonight have cost them. Poor ball security there.
Stephen Kearney hunched over.
I think that's a mistake a lot of players do make in the modern game with the emphasis on such a quick play the ball. Their ball security does go out the window as they're getting to their feet to play it. You see the ball come loose on many occasions. Sometimes there's a hand to help it, but a lot of times there isn't.
Another fresh man is on for the Warriors in 22. It is John Mackey. Solomona. Jason Mackey on in 22. Dwayne Mann. Now for the kickoff, Namu's boot. The halves for Auckland have been very good. Saylor. Not going anywhere this time. Kevin Walters, Julian O'Neill. Tuna Mavavi is off, and Jason Mackey has gone on. As Brad Thorne reaches the 40-metre line. Tomorrow night, 8:30 live in Sydney. Cowboys versus the Bulldogs from Townsville as Brisbane get a penalty. On Sunday at 6:30. You'll see South Sydney and Manly from the Sydney Football Stadium at 6:30 in Sydney. And then later that night at 10:45 in Sydney, and at 5 o'clock in Perth, you'll see the Western Reds play St George. And as I said, a very busy weekend. Andrew G. almost to the 20-metre line. Brisbane trailing by 6 points. Will they whittle that away here? Kevin Walters. 9 metres out. John Plath is the dummy half. Darren Smith the ball carrier. And Chris Johns is tackled. 3 metres out from the line. Langer calls it. Inside the 10, goes himself and scores! The little number 7, he's been waiting for it. He's been content to pass. This time he saw the opportunity and went himself.
It's a freak, isn't he, Alan Langer? Brisbane, if they're going to win this game, they'll get home on the back of this little bloke. The defence coming up there. See, these players aren't used to Alan Langer. They haven't played against him many times. They don't realise how skillful, what a great step he's got. And he just bamboozled them there.
And they came up in a staggered line. Dwayne Mann did not come up as quickly as Okasini on the outside. And as soon as there's a staggered line against Alan Langer, he will step straight through. He's standing tall tonight. He's got his side well back into this game. In fact, we'll have the scoreline all locked up with this conversion attempt. And Langer has scored the 2 tries that has narrowed that 12-point deficit.
Neil with another simple attempt at conversion. The crowd again have become rather subdued. I don't know that they could see too much glory in the try by Alan Langer. Langer has waved the magic wand a couple of times and the crowd has become very, very quiet. Julian O'Neill from right in front, taking his time with it, raises the flags, and so here we are again. At 22 points all, we're locked up for the 2nd time in the game. Welcome back. Greg Alexander's restart. And a good kick really for the Warriors. It could have provided them with something. Brad Thorne knows he's been involved in a first-grade battle tonight.
He's done a good job for the Broncos tonight, Andrew G. He's kept them going forward most of the night. And there's another mistake there by, I think it's Peter Ryan. So the crucial mistakes from the Brisbane Broncos. Poor old Wayne Bennett. He'll be breaking out in Carbuncle sitting in the stand.
Now the pass from dummy half from John Plath, just a little bit behind Peter Ryan.
Oh, he should have choked on that one, Pete.
Well, he should have taken it for
First-grade
sure.
footballers. Not that I've dropped any.
Loose head and feed for the Warriors. One of the Broncos was able to hang the old leg out and make it uncomfortable for the halfback. And it did the job, really, because it took the sting out of the Warriors' attack on tackle 1. Namu goes back for Alexander. Across for Kearney. Now with Hoppy, and he's pulled down by Plath and Saylor. As Alexander goes into acting half. Gavin Hill, is it not? Just inside the 10-metre line. Cross from Alexander. Away from Mackey, it's with Bell. Brisbane standing up flat in defence. Although there might be a bit of sting gone out of Auckland as they set up. I thought they were setting up for the drop goal, but the bomb just landing inside the dead ball line area. And here's a quick restart by Brisbane. Auckland will be lucky to have one player back to 10. They did that.
Well, that was brilliant football again from Wendell Saylor. Firstly, taking the football on the full under a little bit of pressure, getting the ball back to the 20-metre area for the quick restart, and all of a sudden, second tackle, 43 metres out from their own line. Great work from the winger.
Hancock now tied up on the halfway line. 22 points all. And about 16 minutes of the match remaining as Darren Smith. 48 metres out from the Auckland line. Plath, Langer, kicks. Was he taken out late? Referee Harrigan says he was and gives a penalty to Brisbane where the ball landed.
I don't think we see the quick tap this time.
The
Talking about tripping, I think Gavin Hill might have something to answer for there.
Julian O'Neill then gets the chance to break the deadlock. Superb effort in the second half by Alan Langer.
Isn't it tremendous the work done by the 4 new clubs on the grounds? This Ericsson Stadium, the old Mount Smart, fabulous place to watch rugby league. Had plenty of people in here. We'll see over the next couple of days just what the new clubs have done in other areas, equally as impressive.
Talking of Wide World of Sports tomorrow and that piece on Phil Blake, there's also an up-to-the-minute report on the Warriors' entry into the Winfield Cup on Sports Sunday at 4 o'clock this coming Sunday. In front of the news, and then of course the Sunday night football, Manly and South.
O'Neill, 2 out of 3. This is just off centre. 25 metres out. Can he put Brisbane in front? Yes, he can. And so Brisbane, they lead 24 to 22. Last time they were in front was 10-0 after 17 minutes.
Just a sense to me, Peter, that the Warriors are struggling a little. I mean, have they run out of juice? It looks like maybe the tank's just about on empty. 65, 68 minutes of the match gone.
It was a good start for the second half by the Broncos. They were able to string together a couple of sets of 6. They didn't make too many mistakes in their own area. And a little bit of undisciplined work there from Gavin Hill just may prove the difference in this game. He definitely moved to get in the way of Alan Langer. And O'Neill is obliged to put his team in front, but the control of the Broncos has been much better. Thorne has been very good again in taking the hard yards.
The Broncos, have they lost it? Yes, they have. It's down with Stephen Kearney. And how many times have the Broncos offered it now in total?
12 times they've dropped it, Ray.
I'll tell you what, out of the 12, most of them have been in their own territory. The Warriors then get this opportunity to come back. From 2 points down, this is Tatupu. Alexander. 33 metres out from the Brisbane line. Mann. Blake. Namu. Kearney. Kearney. Got it away. Dean Bell was there. Lofts it over. Hoppy. Loose on the ground, and Brisbane come up with it.
Well, Darren Smith, a timely loose ball. Tremendous work from Stephen Kearney to his flying winger. Pass back inside was cleaned up by the lock forward. He knew how important it was to get on that one. Just wondered whether it was touched by a Brisbane player. There's Dean Bell bouncing out of Julian O'Neill's tackle. Sean Hoppy coming back on the inside. The ball touched by Wendell Saylor should have been a penalty to Auckland.
Lazarus. Wedging it up towards the halfway line again for Brisbane. Langer keeps it low. Blake goes across. Hoppy is back with him. And Blake makes a mistake in goal, does he? Mulligan doesn't seem to think so.
It looked like a knock on.
Tewa. Dean Bell. Kearney and Tatupu. Goodness, the number of times they've been able to draw in 2 and 3 defenders and offload. They're good men to follow, aren't they? And here's Auckland with a good back line.
A desperation pass back in field has landed with the Broncos. And now 33 metres out from the line. This is Willie Kahn. Gavin Hill, the tackler. Julian O'Neill in to take this play towards the 20-metre line. Plath, Langer, Can. It's been a grind, a high-scoring game, 24-22. Brisbane in front in very humid conditions. Langer. Can he get his third try? He's pulled down. 5 gone. As Plath goes to the left and they set up a drop goal with Julian O'Neill, and that is successful. So 25-22. Brisbane over the Auckland Warriors.
And that surprises me, that option. I would have thought Brisbane would have preferred to stay down this end of the field and get the ball into the in-goal area, get it back. All of a sudden now, it's a 3-point ball game, but the play is down at their end of the field.
I don't think Julian gave that much thought. He saw the ball in his arms and had nothing better to do, so he potted it over. But what the Broncos are going to be very careful of now is not to make a mistake down in this area.
This is something we don't often see against the Broncos, or the Broncos trying to do. For mine, they've tried to slow the game down. They were shell-shocked by what Auckland were throwing at them. All of a sudden, they're just prepared to take the one-out passes and not necessarily keep the ball alive at all costs. Very alien to the way that the Broncos normally play, but in this situation, exactly what is needed.
So the home crowd trying to urge the Warriors back from a 3-point deficit. The Broncos going into Warriors territory now through Alan Langer. Thorne calling for it on the right, a wide blindside, but they go back for Kevin Walters. But Julian O'Neill it is. He puts it high in the air. Blake is getting under it. O'Neill has put all the Broncos onside, and Blake comes away from the 10-metre line, makes the mistake, but the Warriors clean it up. Taiwa. Manoa Thompson. Right on the 20-metre line. His own end of the park. They'll cross now through Mackie, and they find Dean Bell. Oh, that's a great pass by Bell. Now Hoppy pulled down by Sailor. Loses the ball, did he? Yes, a knock-on has been ordered by Harrigan.
Well, thank goodness the Brisbane Broncos have got Wendell Sailor out there, because Hoppy easily got inside Julian O'Neill once again. His last line of defence, O'Neill, hasn't been crash hot tonight. But what a great ball by Dean Bell. He might be, 33 years of age, but still got plenty of skills, which he's learnt eastern suburbs and over at Wigan. That's a great ball. And look at the attempt by O'Neill, a very ordinary one.
Ball came spewing out. So the Broncos given one back by Auckland. That was a mistake that the Broncos badly needed from them.
And time starting to run out for the New Zealand team. Only 6 minutes left in this game. Michael Hancock loses the ball. Harrigan rules that it's gone backwards. The crowd disagree.
Khan slammed into the turf. On the 40-metre line, now Darren Smith again. Broncos playing with a lot more caution. G. 5 gone. Langer wanting it. Driving it down to bounce into the in-goal. Hoppy goes back. Kevin Walters is after him, and Hoppy grounded in goal. So that was great work by the Broncos, particularly Kevin Walters. He showed the enthusiasm that whipped up into Alan Can and John Plath.
Well, they've been circling for about 20 minutes. They're in for the kill now, the Bronx. Great work by Kevin to force him to run wide. And they're looking at him come in now. Zaf doesn't have him come in here. And that's just great play by the Broncos.
I think that one play could just about have won them the game. Alan Langer, a great tackle head on there, just showing his strength once again. If they play smart football now for the last 5 minutes and keep the play down at this end, just can't see the Warriors going the length.
So Willie Kahn. Beautifully tackled by Dean Bell. Bell's had a strong game tonight. Many people were of the opinion that he might have seen his best, and I'm sure he has. But at 32 years of age tonight, he's done some wonderful things for the Warriors. 25-2. Kevin Walters. 13 metres away from the Warriors line. Is there another try in the Broncos? Is there another try in the match? G will play it that close to the line on 5.
I think the in-goal area is the place to go here.
Langer, he has the ball, I was going to say on a string, but it's going to go back out to the 20-metre line for the Warriors to restart. He went perilously close there, Alan Langer. This is Thompson now. Crowd hoping now, hoping for a miracle almost, because the Broncos are playing very purposeful and with a lot more urgency. Mackie to play it. 3 metres on his side of the halfway. They go away from Alexander and across to Blake, and then Hoppy, and then Blake, and Blake centre kicks. Brisbane have got it covered. Oh, Lazarus, he took it and put it down. And it was cleaned up by Julian O'Neill.
What a magnificent piece of work there by Glenn Lazarus. Some beautiful play down the blind side by the Warriors. But Lazarus, he saw that kick go up and he sprinted for it.
Oh, what a great piece of work by both teams here.
And just look where Lazarus is, back near the referee. Sees the kick go up, actually sprints for the football. Didn't get up, didn't get it in the end, but he saved the day for them.
And Mick Hancock tries to run it away from the 10-metre line. 2 minutes of the match remaining. Crowd roaring for the Warriors.
The one thing the Warriors have done tonight is earned incredible support from their team and credibility in the competition. This is the last throw of the dice as Blake can't beat the tackle of Thorne. Under 2 minutes left.
Alan Langer's kick was not a good one. It went straight to Blake, and this is the second tackle. And they're just inside the Brisbane 30-metre line. 25-22, Brisbane in front.
It's Moana on in 19. We're on late in the game, only a couple of tackles left here. Alexander the run around with Namu.
Alexander's handled twice, Kearney offers it. Brisbane showing him the respect that he has attracted to Tupu, using Alexander. Then Bell. Bell runs at Alan Cann, who pulls him down. 5 gone now. Dwayne Mann.
Up she goes. Across
for Namu. Namu kicks to the outside, looking for Hoppy. Came off Sailor, and that'll be the turnover, is it, or is it going to be the scrum? And you'll find that Auckland will have the loose and the feed.
Yeah, Warriors feed. Sailor, all he wanted to do was get the ball to go dead. So when they've this scrum, there'll be about 20 seconds left, I reckon, for the Warriors to do something. And that man there, he's the man.
Well, here it comes, the last 20 seconds. Alexander runs right across the park. Thompson is with it. Thompson is tackled 10 metres out from the line. 11 seconds on the clock. They come back to the blind. Alexander uses Gavin Hill, and it goes to ground, the knock on. So Brisbane are going to get home in this one. Siren in the background, is it? If not, it should be, according to the official timepiece.
All over.
Bill Harrigan now acknowledges full time. And look at the Auckland crowd. They know that their team has done them proud. 25-22. They could have easily won it. They led 16-10. They led 22-16. They've gone down 25-22. So much so that I don't think anybody will leave here disappointed tonight. And they'll be back to watch the Warriors on many occasions here at Ericsson Stadium during the year. Magnificent night. Congratulations to the Warriors for putting together a fantastic showpiece, but more importantly to their players for being as good as they were. And Brisbane knows better than any club in the Winfield Cup now that if you are down to play the Warriors, you have got one hell of a job on your hands, particularly in Auckland. So 25-22, the scoreline in favour of Brisbane. We'll take a break and then come back with Peter and Paul and the man of the match details on the other side of this.
Well, thanks, Peter. Yes, it really was a captain's knock from Alfie Langer with a couple of tries, and he organised the Broncos totally in the second half. Alfie, I guess it's Captain Shout tonight, $1,000 from Ansett. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Ansett, but it was a great game by the Broncos. We were down a bit in the first half. We're making uncharacteristic errors, and it was a great effort to come back, especially after half-time, after they scored an early try.
The atmosphere here, Alan, into the breeze in the first half and against all that noise, what was it like?
Yes, it was a great atmosphere, especially for the Warriors, so they're going to be very hard to beat at home here, so pity the other side's coming over here.
All the predictions about their form this year, all true? You think they're going to make it very tough for the other teams over here?
Well, I certainly do, and they're a top 8 contention already.
Alan, thanks very much and congratulations.
Thank Ansett again. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sterlo. Back to you.